Okay, I'm gonna try and remember this.
So we were.
But
Never mind. Go ahead.
well, here's my recounting. But the last we left off, you traveled to the small little village of Forest Haven on your way, I think, to the monastery of the Cobalt Soul, um, Kahavai's home. Is that recollection correct?
Yes.
Yeah, right
You're
about to begin our journey.
seeking a way to wake Lupa up from her apparent comatose state, and to find someone, a divine caster of significant enough power to be able to cast a restoration spell on her. Um, so you traveled to Forest Haven, which is a village on the edge of the prairie, basically. So kind of to the west, or yeah, right to the west is the sprawling, vast Aldwood. To the north is this prairie-like landscape of rolling hills and long grass. You can see way far off in the distance the peaks of very tall mountains with snow capping them, and there's a trade route that runs down from the mountains, kind of through the Rift Valley, through the hills, that connects dwarvish settlements in the mountains and some sparse human settlements at the foothills of the mountains. Your target is, and Kahavai, you'd know this, is the even smaller village, smaller than Forest Haven, of Tranquility, which lies at the feet of the mountain that is home to the monastery of the Cobalt Soul. So um, there's sort of a rutted wagon trail that leads north from Forest Haven into the prairie and into the hills, and ultimately to the mountains in the distance. And you know that this track does indeed lead towards Tranquility. If I remember correctly, you had done some shopping the day before. You spent the night in the Inn of the Screaming Pissant. You'd done some shopping. You had found you were now currently standing outside on the far edge of town, the hut of Bat Molina, the local sage and sort of sorcerer type woman in the town, the only magical entity that exists here as far as you know. So it's about, early afternoon. Um, and the rest of the day belongs to you. What would you like to do?
Shall we start heading north?
So how far of a trip would it be?
If I'm remembering
Uh,
correctly, you said 2 weeks or something like that.
yeah, it's not a short distance on foot, especially. So
So should we try to look for faster means of travel?
Hey, we have all that gold that we didn't spend because we were like, maybe we'd need it.
Well, we spent a whole
Guys,
bunch and we picked up some supplies. What do you want to do?
I thought you said we had like 600 gold left.
We do, but I mean,
I was thinking like horses or something.
oh, horses are yummy.
No.
No,
Mhm.
no horses.
What
No,
Or
kind
I
of?
no to
meant
just
no, I
eating
meant to
horses.
eating. I meant to eating the horses.
I was like, okay, I don't know what other form of
No, I
What
meant to
kind of
medieval
eating.
transportation
what kind
there
of trauma
is.
has Notongue been through with horses?
All right, let's go see where we can find horses. I guess maybe we
there is
should.
so and just refresh your memory from talking to Irkey and the Rock Donovan from the innkeeper, the Screaming Piss Hand, and other people that there is a this town serves in large part as a way station for caravans coming south or north, going north into the mountains along the trade route. So there is actually a Timbers Caravan Outfitter and Way Station. Uh,
Sorry,
so
what was the name one more time?
Timbers Caravan Outfitter and Way Station.
Nice.
One more
So I
time.
guess we'll start making our way over there.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
is it like a store? Like we go into the store? Is it like a
Yeah.
barn or stables or?
So kind of all of the above. You walk down the dusty main street of Forest Haven, and just to kind of set the stage for you a little bit more, the just to remind you, like think Old West Town with a on either side of the street there are wooden plank buildings, obviously from the built from timbers harvested from the forest that's nearby. Some stone work, but that's rare. Mostly thatched roofs and wooden plank shingles. The down each side of the street runs a kind of going continuously from building to building are a wooden plank walkway that sort of acts as a sidewalk, so to speak, and you can kind of go from storefront to storefront almost without really getting into the churned up dirt. And right now it's dry and hard and crusty, but you imagine if a rain ever came it would be fairly muddy. um, Most of the walkway is covered by angled and sloped like overhang sort of porch roofs that sort of stick out beyond the storefronts over the walkways. Yeah, so you make your way sort of the end of the street where it sort of dead ends and there's a T intersection, and to one side, if you go to the right, which would be sort of to the west or to the east rather, you're headed towards the smelters and the blacksmiths and the lumber yard and sort of those industrial sides. If you go to the left, which is sort of where the track comes in from the north as it heads out across the plains, you come eventually to a large, long, low um, building that has off to the north on the far north end another building sort of attached to it. The long, low building looks to be more like a stable. You can see large open, uh, not so much windows, but like these half stall looking doors where the bottom half is closed but you can open the top half. And in several of the stalls, you know, you see beasts of burden, mostly horses, but several teams of oxen kind of sticking their heads out of these, you know, windows in the side of the barn. There is a sturdy fence which sort of frames off in front of that barn area, a little corral, so to speak, where these animals might be brought out, hitched up to their tack and harness and whatever burdens they're going to be bearing, and driven off. In fact, in the middle of the corral area, there is a team. It looks to be of two like sturdy, broad-shouldered uh, oxen type creatures that are being hooked up to a large, heavy wagon that is even now sort of loaded down with various crates and things. Um, and there's a team of of people working to kind of get this all situated. You approach the corral as they're working, and uh, One of the a human with kind of broad shoulders, mid 50s, this kind of balding comb over, in a
Before
Mhm.
before we actually approach, I want to ask Notongue specifically because he's so big. Like, have you ever found a horse that you actually could ride, or are we gonna have to like get a cart and some horses?
There's
Okay,
oxen.
so yeah, the whole time when I don't know how many sessions back, I thought, man, if we could get a like a wagon of some sort, I think that would be ideal, especially
Okay.
with Lupa. So that's what I was thinking, not myself actually riding a horse. Man, that'd have to be a big horse.
Right? That's what I was thinking. I was like, can he even like okay. All right, so now we know what we are looking for, kind of.
Mhm. Okay.
Now we can approach people.
Okay.
Is
So
this is
this
this comb over guy a human?
human, like mid 50s, um, he's got a looks to be some kind of leather vest, an old worn but well and kept shirt on under it, sleeves sort of rolled up. You can see his forearms are like ripped and corded. He's got a large kind of mustache that sweeps down over his top lip. Yes, welcome. What can we do you for?
Hello. We are taking a we're taking a little journey, and we thought it might be faster if we could, not go on foot, so we are looking for some transportation. Preferably perhaps some kind of cart and animals to pull said cart.
He takes one look at No Tongue, kind of looks him up and down, and think that'd be a good idea. Heading north to you, are you? Where are you headed?
Yes, we are headed to the village of Tranquility, actually.
Oh,
I'm from around
excellent.
there, visiting family.
Hmm, interesting. Not many people actually from Tranquility. You have the
Right,
look of
but
a seasoned traveler about you. Very
Well,
good. We might have something
yeah.
to suit you. Go on inside and talk to Ma and Pa Timber. I assume you met our sheriff.
Yes, we've met Irkey. He gave us quite the rundown of almost everything, I should say.
That sounds about right.
he's very smart.
Okay, well, let me finish up here. You go talk to Ma and Pa and come on out and we'll see what we can do you for. Very good.
All right, so we'll head in and meet the parents, I guess.
Okay, great. So he kind of goes back to what he's doing and directs you to the building on the far end that looks more to be like from the outside it looks sort of like a general store, although maybe a little bit bigger. Broader doors so that cargo and other goods of a larger size might be brought in and out. They literally have those like swinging sort of Western style,
Like the saloon doors.
kind of almost saloon doors, but a little bit more sturdy than just saloon doors. But yeah, something that someone carrying a load can just push open with ease. So you walk in and you see it's a disarray. Like it's not, you don't see shelves, well organized goods. There are leather straps and ropes and saddles and bags and just all sorts of strange tack and harnesses for different beasts of all sizes and makes just sort of, some of them are hanging from the ceiling, some of them are just piled up in a corner on the, you see like one stack of like three or four just generic saddles sort of leaning against the corner of the shop. There's coils and coils of rope, all sorts of clips and carabiner looking things and harnesses and cotter pins and just anything to attach something to an animal and an animal to a cart that you can imagine, or strap something down to keep it from falling off a cart is just sort of There's a long, low desk. Like Notongue, it comes up to about your mid thigh. Suug, you can barely see over it.
Yep.
Uh, any normal person, it's going to be kind of uncomfortably low, but behind it is kind of sitting in a chair, sort of half dozing, is an older looking halfling, his large furry feet sort of propped up on a barrel. There's a woman, old about the same age, halfling, hair pulled back in a tight bun. She's got a bandana sort of around her neck. She is just wearing like canvas common clothing, but sturdy work clothes, and she's there behind the counter, and there's kind of a half orc gentleman that's standing there, long mutton chop sideburns. Looks like he's ready to go out on the road. And they're discussing something, and she kind of finishes up with just a sharp word and sends him out the door. And he looks none too pleased, but he brushes past you and out the swinging doors and out into the stable yard. Yes, hello, hello. Come in, sit. What? And she kind
Hello.
of gestures to a couple of barrels that are just sort of sitting. Ma Timber, people call me. Welcome, welcome. Heard you were in town. Son Irkey, of course, tells us everything. Isn't that right, Paul? And Paul just sort of is like, kind of goes back to sleep.
Yes, he did say
Yeah.
that he did mention your store when we saw him. For
Good
sure.
lad, good lad. At least he's good for something. Directing customers our way. Yes, of course. Very good. Learned that from his brother. Very, God rest his soul. And she kind of makes a little.
Um, we
But now it got dark unexpectedly.
um we were wondering if you could help us out. We're trying to get outfitted with a cart and some animals to pull the cart. We're a little bit tired of walking.
Very good. Headed somewhere. Are we on a trip? Headed
Headed
north,
up
perhaps.
north. Yep, headed
Very good.
north.
Where's your ultimate destination? Of course, none of my business, but I just want to know, so in case I can set you up with the proper vehicle for the terrain that you're likely to encounter. And of course, you have to be careful. Gnolls are on the prowl. We've heard this, and there's actually a bounty on them. I don't know if you've spoken
Yes.
to Mayor Ellen, but you might want to. You look like you can handle yourself.
Mhm. Yeah, we had a short conversation with her last night, I believe, about that. We do plan to, of course, if we see anything like that, take care of it, but we're ultimately headed up to Tranquility.
Interesting. Not many people go there on purpose. Well, of course, some do, bringing goods and whatnot to the monastery. There, very
I'm from there,
mysterious.
so just a short trip home.
Oh, well, there's been lots of traffic headed that way lately. Seems all of a sudden people are
Really?
interested in learning more about the way of the cobalt soul. Don't ask me what that means. Sounds very mysterious. More of a down to earth person I am myself. So, yes, very good. Um, we have just the thing. I believe we do have a cart, fairly decent size, and she again gives No Tongue kind of an up and down look. Um, and you'll probably need a couple of draft horses to carry it. Any other mounts or anything
You
like
know,
that? Of course.
I'm really not sure because we have a limited amount of money, so I want to make sure that what we are putting together we can actually afford.
Well, very wise. Everybody has a limited amount of money, dear. Know exactly what you mean there, of course. Well, I tell you what, normal going rate for see a couple of draft horses, a carriage, uh, would you tack and harness, feed for the horses, and you that it's about 2 weeks trip. You can pick up more supplies there. Sort of adds it all up. I tell you what, 200 gold even for the whole outfit. How about
Done.
that?
Done.
Done.
And I look at Suug and I'm like, wait, who has the money? Does Suug have the money? Because I don't think I have it.
Notongue.
What?
I
Oh,
look
I
at
have it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
'Cause-
wouldn't Siobhan be bartering though?
well, I mean, that's why.
Well, I heard the word done, and so that sounds good to me.
Yeah. Sorry, Siobhan.
sorry,
Siobhan.
Siobhan.
Oh, what did I say? I said Siobhan.
You didn't say anything. You can't.
No.
You can't say anything. Your name is literally Notongue.
So I'm gonna, I guess, look at Notongue and in some form communicate, can we please pay the nice lady?
We've been traveling enough. He understands. He can just
I
talk.
take my bag off. I pull Lupa out, set her on the counter, go into the.
The Ma Timber is just gonna. Is that a child?
Hey,
Nope.
can
A
I?
child in your backpack? A little girl in your
She's
backpack.
sleeping. She's sleeping. She got tired of walking.
She reaches down, kind of. Wait one second, and she kind of paws to the customers. Okay. And he just goes right
I
back
pull
to
Suug
He-
out of the backpack.
sleep.
Hey!
She goes into the back. She comes back with in her arm this large, fluffy looking roll of like it's a bedroll. Look, for free, and she gives this nice
Oh,
looking bedroll, and it's got like colorful quilt patches kind of on it. I cannot
thank
believe
you.
you had a little girl in your backpack. You are a giant of a thing, and that is a very large and roomy backpack. But here, no wonder you want a cart. Good for you.
So I put her in the blanket and then I pack her back into the backpack. I'm kidding. Hey, who? Ma Timber is the mother of who?
Irkey.
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 Okay. I was like, Notongue slaps her. for this campaign, the last campaign, for all the campaigns.
I was almost
For
gonna suggest.
bringing Irkey into the world.
I was almost gonna suggest, Chuck, that we could bring Irkey to make a man out of him.
It's been done.
he's already accompanied a party on
I-
their adventures.
I figure.
Oh boy.
In a Gollum-esque.
Remember that one
sort of
time
fashion.
Irkey got himself captured by kobolds? Ooh, dreadful creatures. He had to be rescued from this horrible underground citadel from this weird group of this one bard. Oh, Irkey talks about it all the time.
That sounds like quite the adventure.
Sounds dreadful.
It's amazing.
Stay at home and have tea is what I say. Isn't that right, Paul?
I try to say thank you, for the blanket. I'm not sure if all of my companions said it, but I was trying to gesture thank you to Ma Timbers.
Interesting. Thank you. Well,
So, I would hand the money over to Kahavai, so you can count it out.
And I count it out and give her what we agreed upon.
okay, she takes it. I tell you what, it'll take some time. We've got a bit of a group ahead of you, and they're headed south. But I'll tell you what, give us a couple of hours, and we can have you all tacked and harnessed up. When are you wanting to leave?
As soon as possible.
Oh, well, okay. So today then, or would you wait till tomorrow?
Prefer today, if we can swing it.
Oh, can do. Just do be careful. Do be careful. So, I tell you what, I'll have Ooster bring the team around, and where can we find you?
What is the name of that interesting tavern we were at last night? Suug.
It's the only
Screaming
tavern.
Pissant.
The Screaming
There you go.
Pissant. Yes, those
Yes,
Donovans.
we'll
I
be
tell you
we'll,
what.
we'll be there. We'll be hanging out there.
Very good. Ooster will be around with your team. He'll drive it right up to the inn, and you can load up and go. Do you have provisions and food and supplies and anything else you need? We have pretty much whatever you need for a long journey. We have it all right here.
Some food supplies would probably be good. But other
Okay.
than that,
Excellent. We'll have some. I'll have a crate of rations in there, free of charge. Got to keep this little one plump and fit as a fiddle. Does she ever wake up? How does she sleep like that? It's very fascinating. Interesting.
she's very tired.
And two could sleep like that. Very good. Anyway.
Don't you
Okay.
wish we could all sleep like that?
Mm-hmm. For reals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, you've got a team of 2 draft horses, a carriage, which is he. It's not a. It's got. Think of like a. Oh, what were those sort of like Oregon Trail kind of?
Oh,
Like a
the
covered
wagon.
wagon?
Yeah, more like a covered wagon
Nice.
type thing. You know, 2 people can sit up front. You can kind of fit a couple people in the back. Um, it has these sort of canvas um, flaps that you can sort of pull out at night and set up, almost like a. So a couple people can sleep inside. You can have a couple people sleeping underneath on the ground underneath the wagon, kind of protected by these canvas sort of tent like. It's pretty much like the Winnebago of
Awesome.
medieval times. So
Nice.
not a bad deal.
Awesome.
Okay,
And now we have a wagon.
now you have a wagon.
Nice.
Cool.
Um, was the half orc the gentleman that's gonna get the stuff together that walked out?
No, Ooster is the comb over guy.
Oh, okay.
So are y'all going back to the inn to wait, or are you gonna got any more shopping you want to do, or
I'm good with shopping.
I think we're done shopping, unless
Yeah.
somebody has
So
something specific.
so timber is the main kind of as people are traveling out, they would come here, right? And
right? Yeah.
everybody coming in. So would they have a good idea as to where these knoll encampments or encounters are happening? More specific.
Like as you walk out, you see the 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 team and the large like the wagon they were hooking up is more like a semi truck, and what you bought is more like a pull behind pop up camper. So
Yeah.
that large rig is sort of moving out to the south. Ooster sort of like brushes his hands off and says, "Ah, yeah, there you are. Let me get your stuff." And as he does, he kind of gives you the side eye, like, "Headed north, are you? Know about the knolls, don't you? Do be careful."
So I try to like how get details from that guy. I don't know how I would, whoever I'm sign languaging, like
I'll
talk to this
interpret.
guy about.
I'll interpret.
Hmm?
I put Suug right in front of his face.
Stop. Hello, Victor. Yeah. So I'll
Hello.
just say whatever you want. So I'll be your mouthpiece.
Yeah.
So basically, we want to know more any specifics or details about the encounters with gnolls.
Knolls have been hitting caravans up north. Started about a week ago. Call themselves the the Blue Scale Pack. Uh, Quite ferocious, well organized, well led, well armed. Uh, Happens, about a week out. Uh, the road sort of starts to head into the hills, and so there's more ravines and less plain, less visibility, and they find good ambush sites. They'll take out with usually one leader type and 7 or 8, sometimes as many as 10 or 12. Just
Great.
just common knolls. They'll attack with arrows from high positions, and as others kind of stream down and attempt to take, they're they're taking cargo, they're taking treasure, they're taking, in some cases, individuals. Uh, Usually they kill whoever they find, and if they manage to get away, they don't generally pursue them, but they're quite ferocious and unusually skilled. There's usually a big one among them.
So their large groups are attacking caravans. Like, do they do the same big group attack on small wagons?
They believe there's anything to be taken of value, they'll take it.
As a group, as a large group, as
Aye.
so I'm
If
thinking
they think they can win,
instead of a D10 or D12, maybe like a D6 or D8
what are you
kind of
talking about?
size.
Talking about the number?
Yeah,
Uh,
you were like 10 or 12, so I'm like, okay, what about
oh yeah,
a 6 or 4 maybe?
P100.
Oh.
There has been one interesting rumor that comes about. Sometimes the night before a raid, or when they're getting close to an ambush spot, you'll have a sense of dread and fear. And someone has even said that looking up in the night sky, you can see the stars sort of winking out as if something large is flying through the air.
What?
You're muted, but yeah, that.
Here's your
Yeah.
wagon. Tell
Oh,
'em Large Marge sent you.
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Doesn't sound so bad.
So it's like it's about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. You're in front of the Screaming Pissant. You've got your brand new shiny uh, Conestoga wagon. That's what it's called. Isn't that what it's called? Um,
Conestoga.
and ready to head north.
I look at Suug and Notongue and Siobhan and Fergus, and I say, "Who wants to sit in the front?" And since nobody said anything, I'll go sit in the front and let them
Yeah,
choose.
I was thinking, if we get attacked, shouldn't you and I be in the front?
Yeah. Yep. Because everybody else
Fergus's
is.
range,
Mhm.
caster, and I have Suug. Well, I don't know, Suug. Do I
No,
have
if
you?
you have
Actually,
Lupa, I've been walking since you got Lupa.
well, no. Couldn't you fit into how many can the sit in the back of
Oh
the
yeah,
wagon?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, you can fit 7 or 8 Sugs and Lupas.
Yeah. So it's
Many
like 3
Sugs
of you
and
guys.
Lupas.
So Kahavai
Like
and
3
I
normal people.
in front, Fergus, Siobhan,
You know, we should fit.
Lupa, and Suug in the back.
Yeah. And Fergus Jr. is like trotting along.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not scaring the horses.
Oh yeah, that's true.
behind the wagon maybe.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
All right, let's see.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We're too little to die yet, guys. That was my first thought.
Okay, so what level do clerics learn legal means tiny hut?
Banned spell. Banned spell.
Well, from Chuck, right? I haven't used it in
Yeah.
one of your campaigns yet.
I'd rather have the mansion, Jay.
Yeah. My goodness.
Okay, so ready to head out?
Yep, ready to head out.
Okay.
We don't want to try to steal
So
the cheese, the Christmas cheese one more time? Okay.
you
I
already
will
blasted
leave
the
you
Christmas cheese.
here.
Forgot about the Christmas cheese.
All right.
All right, as you leave the screaming pissant, Rock Donovan, and the group of Donovans down at the end of the bar, like, to your very good health from the Donovans,
The
and I just
Donovans!
kind of drink and you head off. You're able to get how long into the day or night do you wish to travel as you head out of town? It's about so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like there's probably 4 hours of daylight left.
We should
You can
probably,
get
yeah, just do daylight, right, to save the horses.
okay. Okay, you managed to make a good pace. You're definitely saving calories and energy as you travel um, with your nice wagons. Very nice, very good. Looks like you got a good deal there.
Yeah.
Uh, find a place just off to the side of the road. You can see as you travel, like it's not much of a road. It's really the sort of two wagon ruts in a going through the grass, and the grass has sort of been beaten down and where the horses have trampled it. Every so often, you do see like there are campsites that people have stopped at and just sort of tend to frequent. They tend to be the more sheltered, natural places that someone in the wild would look for. Sometimes there's a water source nearby for the horses, and so you're able to find one of those and make camp. Lupa is kind of got her kind of tucked away inside the wagon in her nice little brand new sleeping bag. Um, and so there you go. Make camp, set a watch. Who's got the first watch?
So we'll do first watch.
Okay.
Maybe with
Okay.
Convoy or something. Or with somebody.
All right. All right. Um,
Yeah,
the Go
is
ahead
Lupa
and
staying in the wagon? Is that where she's sleeping in the wagon?
Yeah, I think that's probably safest.
the wagon has it does have like this the canvas sort of roof thing on it, but the
That's
the
not
sides
flammable.
of the wagon are solid wood, fairly thick planks. It's pretty sturdy, so you feel like you would be protected from
Okay.
like random arrows and stuff coming at it from a low angle. So more so than if you were outside the wagon.
Convoy going
Okay.
home?
Yeah, I mean it's really very close where we're going. I've been back in a while, so it'll be interesting. The um Ma Timber said that a lot of people had been headed up this way, which is really, really unusual. I mean, we didn't get very many visitors over there near the monastery, so I'm curious to see what it is like now.
What? What do you do at monastery?
Monastery is great. You read and you learn about, whatever. They didn't really set I don't know, specific topics, but whatever interests you. If you want to learn about something, that's the place to go. They've got all the books, all the knowledge, and they will also teach you to fight. So, you know, handy in both ways.
Ooh.
What about you? Where's home for you?
Suug looks off into the. Was it the northeast, I think? Off towards the high peaks, the mountains.
Mhm.
Yeah. Far away.
Far away, someplace cold, like the mountains, or far away, someplace warm, or
Warm. In the mountains. In caves. Many,
I bet
many
you had a
kobolds.
nice cave. I bet it was very homey.
Spelled just like Notongue's armpit.
I wondered how you managed being in the backpack so long, but I guess that answers it.
Spelled just like home. Hmm.
Have you told Notongue that? I'm sure that he would be happy to know that he can give you a piece of home. You should tell him.
Gives a nod.
As you kind of take your watch and chat, you know, the sun is has already sunk below the horizon, and sort of the last light is faded from the sky. The stars are out. You've been in the forest for so long that your view of the sky has been obscured by the trees, and here you are sort of in this open plain. It's still very flat. You haven't really gotten to the rolling hills. So you have this incredible vista and horizon that has just become full of stars overhead, and every once in a while you'll see a shooting star kind of dash across the sky. You see sort of the milky streak of the galaxy there in the sky. Um, each of you make a perception check.
12.
That would be a 10.
Mhm. So the rest of your watch passes uneventfully, and you wake the next group as they prepare to take their watch. Who will that be?
I'll go next.
All right.
I'll go.
Okay.
You want somebody to watch with you?
Yeah,
Do you want us
probably
to
him
wake up
and
like him and
Fergus.
Fergus?
Probably.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Fergus and
Fergus.
Notongue.
Okay. Um, so you're awakened, no tongue, by Suug as she shakes you, you know, get you up. Um, Go ahead and make a perception check. Fergus is strangely quiet.
I
So you
I
can,
rolled mine before, and I'm gonna use that. It's a 9.
okay.
Shall I roll one for Fergus?
No, he's quiet.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, um, Kahabai and Suug, where are y'all sleeping?
I'll
I
probably take Notongue's place next to Lupa,
Okay.
wherever that. I assume that you would have been sleeping next to Lupa.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll take his place.
Okay.
I'm probably outside,
Okay.
like in the little place outside.
Okay. Suug, as you drift off to sleep and you kind of get into that, you're in a really deep sleep when you are just for some reason you're not really sure why you come to consciousness. Make a perception check at disadvantage.
Yep. All right. First one's a 10. Second
Okay.
one was a natural 20.
Oh,
So a 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Yeah.
You're not sure that you saw anything, but just for the briefest moment, sort of like a darker shadow seems to obscure part of the back of the wagon as you sort of blink your eyes once or twice, and kind of even as your eyes come open for the second time after blinking, whatever it was is gone, and it's just yeah. You go back to sleep.
Yep. Yep.
So Siobhan has not taken a watch.
Yep, it's her turn.
Okay.
does Ferguson Jr.
Yeah,
would
Siobhan and Fergus Jr.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the morning comes and you're awakened by Siobhan, and the horses have not strayed. You kind of picketed them, and they've been kind of nibbling on grass, which is plentiful. You. Who's kind of handling the team and the driving of the wagon?
Not Suug. That caught by.
Either me or Notongue. Who has better animal handling skills? What's your animal handling check?
that's +1?
Okay, it's Chuck, because mine is -1.
Nice.
Guidance.
Okay, Chuck, make a animal handling skill check.
Nice. A 1, so a 2.
Plus a d4.
Oh, here, I'll roll that.
What, you got a 1? Not
Yeah.
1? Never mind.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. That's a waste.
Never mind.
Yeah, what am I getting?
So how many horses do we have now?
You have all of the horses still. It takes you a little bit longer than it should have, perhaps, but you're able to get the horses hitched up. You're still getting used to the team. The team is getting used to you. So
Couple black eyes on both
yeah, you get
Notongue and the horse.
yeah. Notongue does the blazing saddle, so he just punches the horse out. So, okay, second day journey. Somewhere around, second day journey, it kind of goes well. Um, more of the same. The hills you can now see are kind of getting closer. You make camp for the evening. Everybody let's kind of fast forward. Everybody make a perception check.
Alright.
Is this a visual perception?
It is no, not necessarily.
Yeah, okay.
During the day?
No, this is for the watches at night.
Okay.
I got an
19.
11.
19.
Ooh. Okay.
I got a 21.
Ooh,
Nice.
okay. So the night really does pass uneventfully with a couple of different just unusual things that really sort of just piqued your interest. It didn't really alarm you, but Siobhan, Suug, and Kahavai did notice and thought they noticed movement just on the edge of the perimeter of the camp. More of the like darker shadows against the dark background. Um, Kahavai, you got a 21?
Yep, I got a 21.
Um, at some point in the middle of your watch, you do notice stars kind of blinking out and coming back as if something kind of moved in front of them. You don't get a sense of dread or fear like Ooster mentioned, but you did notice
Okay.
that.
Did it
Uh,
look, can I ask if it looked like it was heading a certain direction? Or
um,
was it kind of just random
more
pattern?
of a sort of general wheeling. Like it's hard to tell.
Okay.
It definitely moved across the sky in a direction. In your case, it moved from west to east.
Okay.
Um, generally speaking. So, um, third day, about midday, you see in the horizon uh, some figures, some like way off in the distance, somebody coming towards you. It looks, from this distance, it's hard to tell, but it could be like another caravan on the road. After a couple of hours, they manage to draw level with you, and you can see there are two wagons. Uh, they are somewhat damaged. One is being pulled by just a single draft horse who's hitched to like a yoke that is made for two. And he looks to be struggling. They're traveling very slowly, obviously. Um, the people with them, there's about six individuals with them bringing this caravan along. One of them's arm is in a sling. They are armed. I mean, they have kind of general, weapons, some armor. They look to have seen heavy battle, and in the back of each of them are in the back of each of the wagons. One of them has two people laid out on bedrolls. They're bandaged. They look highly wounded. There are several bodies in the back of the second wagon.
I'm gonna cast Disguise Self while they were still coming.
Okay.
Um, the same vague Lupa-ish.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh man.
Uh, Kind of leading the first wagon with the single draft horse is a dwarf. Uh, he's got ringmail armor, an axe at his side. He kind of looks shifty. He does have a cut on his cheek. His beard is matted with and dirty. He looks, a little worse for the wear, and he kind of draws near. Hello, headed north, are you?
Oh, yes. Yes, we are. Looks like you've seen a bit of trouble, friend.
Aye, aye, that we have. Bloody knolls. Suppose you've been warned.
We have heard the stories, although I don't think they've done it justice by the looks of what I'm seeing here.
Well, we got it bad. We got it bad. We did.
How,
Aye, name's Zigid.
how have I? Nice to meet you.
Well met. Any
How,
assistance? We have wounded.
um, and we do have someone who might be able to help, and I'm gonna go get Suug.
Suug's right there. Yeah.
What did Suug transform into?
The older Lupa asks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aye. Much
Uh,
obliged.
so ask Notongue to come with me to help me up because it's really tough to jump up and down. So ask for a hitch a ride, and then I'll go cast cure wounds on some people's.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'll pick up Suug.
Okay. So you go around to the back. There's two. There's a two humans, a male and a female, kind of laying side by side. I mean, they look pretty ragged. They have open wounds. Like one guy has a slashing wound, sort of running from his collarbone to his chest. They've bandaged him up as best they could, but it's just they haven't been able to close it. They don't. We don't have any healers, or we were just caught unprepared.
Suug.
How far ahead or behind you, I guess now, did this attack happen?
Another 2 days we've been on the road, though. We haven't stopped for for rest. I we lost one along the way. He kind of gestures to the cart behind him. Just couldn't hold on.
Sorry to
Iron.
hear it.
I
Do you, do you know? I've heard that. How large was the group that caught you guys unawares?
Hey, hard to say. Eight, I'd say. Wouldn't you, Elfie? And yeah, the a female with a large greatsword strapped to her back, kind of half plate armor, sort of over one side of her chest, and scale mail kind of showing through the other. Like looked to be well made. The half plate guarding the sword arm that she would lead with. Like I'd say eight with the leader. He was worth three of the little ones. And he kind of nodded. So they came at us from the high ground, started with arrows, and we couldn't know. The horses bolted and panicked, and our people are not fighters, but they were fierce as anything. We did find, take this off of one of them. He kind of throws this hide looking round shield made out of wood and toughened leather, and on it's painted blue, um, almost in like a rounded off triangle sort of shape. um, it has 3 points, and each kind of makes, imagine a heart, but the part that goes in like this is sort of flattened, so it's and that part is painted blue, and there's a lightning bolt that seems to be painted through the middle of this blue shape.
Hmm.
I
Called
don't think I've
themselves
ever seen anything like this before.
the blue scale pack. uh, we called a name. What was the name, Elfie? It was Azazel. Something about for his honor, for the honor of Azazel. Maybe their leader, their chief, their god. Who knows?
Definitely sounds like we might be in for some unpleasant times headed the way we are.
There's no alternative way to get there, right?
Don't think so, but I don't know. Do I know of any alternate routes to get there, DM?
Make a. What check would that be?
What check would that be? Would
Make
that be...
a survival.
I do not know of any alternate routes to get there. That
Wait.
was a 1.
Yeah, so there's never really been any reason to go any other way except across the plains. I mean, eventually you have to cut through um, the hills. Where is the? What did I do? What did I do? I don't know what I did. Ah, there it is. Yeah, the Rift Run Hills. I've got a better map that I've been working on, but
Ooh.
are you guys still seeing the map of
Yep.
the?
Yeah.
So Tranquility is right about here.
Oh,
The road runs sort of this direction.
awesome.
So um so you guys are just now coming up on the hills. So you're gonna skirt the hills and kind of head into the.
Okay.
At that point, it kind of runs into ravines and there's plenty of possible ambush sites. They know them all too, all the tricks, all the places. They've got to have a lair nearby. It's the only way.
I mean, it might be worth it to search out a lair and deal with them first,
Yeah.
How
just so
long?
that we can have the element of surprise.
How long have the nose been terrorizing?
Not long. I've run this route many, many times, and it seems only in the last 2 or 3 months that this has started. It's the first I've heard of the name Azazel, though.
Sounds stupid
The
thing.
first I've seen of Knowles carrying a symbol, a coat of arms like that. It's very.
Alright. How many? So I'm just gonna burn as many slots. Deuce.
Okay.
Yeah. So how many? I've got
Well,
three
so I
first.
mean, go ahead and roll.
Yep.
You counting them as. Go ahead and roll.
Alright.
Bug.
Rolling healing. So 6.
Okay.
Whoa. Max
So
11.
the human man like that has a slash wound, you can kind of see the wound knit together and close. Like he's still very pale, but his eyes sort of flutter open and just sort of he comes back around.
Yeah.
Um, he doesn't stand. There's a halfling sort of in the back, sort of who's been mopping their brow, trying to keep the flies and stuff off of the wounds and that sort of stuff. And
Yeah.
um, he kind of nods to you. Many many thanks, friend.
Of course. Uh, yeah. Second one was an 11.
Oh yeah. Um, the female like that he's next to, you can kind of see she has one leg sort of out of on top of the covers, and there's an arrow that was sticking into it. Um, and another arrow sort of in a shoulder, and um, like the wounds close up, and kind of the arrows sort of emerge from the wounds and fall out. And again, she's still very pale, but her eyes sort of flutter open, and
Yeah.
the halfling sort of nods at you. Aye, we do thank you. I don't know if they would make it to Forest Haven without you.
Suug, help.
Sound very funny for a girl.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
Notongue, up.
They kind of nod, and Zigid, the dwarf, grabs the reins of the draft horse that he was leading, and good speed to you. Be careful. We'll say a prayer for you on the road. And they head off. Unless there's anything else you wanted to ask him.
No.
Okay.
No.
And the rest of the day passes uneventfully. You set a watch at night. It passes uneventfully. The dawn comes. And I think that's where we'll stop for tonight.
Awesome.
Because I
Hey,
think we want
we
Siobhan
followed
and
instructions.
Fergus.
Yep.
We kept Lupa alive.
Good
Yep.
job.
Yep. We definitely remember to feed her a few drops of bacon
Meh.
grease or something.
She eats.
Yeah. Oh man, can't wait to fight a dragon at level 3.
A dragon?
Right?
Why do you
What?
think you're fighting a
No,
dragon? What do you mean dragon?
I mean a shadow, unnamed
Yeah.
thing with scales.
Something.
No, we have a name. Azazel?
Azazel.
Yeah.
Azazel.
That doesn't sound like a dragon.
No. Nope.
Lightning symbol.
Blue
Nah, not a
scale
dragon.
pack. Nope.
Able to make a bunch of gnolls get organized in some manner.